Ranking every state seal from worst to best. Number 50, the worst seal in the country has got to be Alabama. Absolutely no creativity with this one. They just threw their state outline and called it a day. And they also lie by saying great seal, more like terrible seal. 49 is Georgia. Props to them for doing more than just throwing their state shape on the seal, but it's still pretty boring because there's not much color to it, and I think it looks pretty dumb to have the wisdom and the moderation separated. 48, Connecticut. Some grapes. That's the best you could do. Embarrassing. 47, Rhode Island. Now it does represent their state with this anchor, but most seals are bright and colorful and eye-popping, and this one is definitely not that. 46, Massachusetts. First of all, this is very boring. And second of all, Massachusetts. What is this? Update it to what it's called in 2021. 45, Virginia. It's colorful and eye-popping and high quality, but why are we using a murderer to represent your state? 44 is Florida. Now there is a ton going on in this one, but because of the design, it just looks super blurred and it's hard to tell what anything is. 43, Kentucky. It's a little bit boring, and I have no idea what these two dudes are doing. Like, are they shaking hands? Are they about to lean in for a kiss? 42 is Oregon. Now, I like the concept of having a tribute to the Oregon Trail on here, but it's just difficult to see some of the details because it's all yellow instead of being in different colors. 41 is New York. First of all, these two women look like they were drawn by a child. I know it's a cartoon, but there's absolutely no detail in their faces. It's just two dots and a line for their smile. And second of all, why does she have a hat on a stick? 40 is West Virginia. Certainly bright and eye-popping, but again, the details just aren't very high quality to be representing something with your government. 39 is Iowa. Same thing. Very colorful, just not super professional looking. 38, New Jersey. This one's the other way around. Looks pretty professional, but not very eye-popping. And again, we've got the hat on a stick. 37 is Texas. There's just not really much to this one. It's pretty plain. 36 is Tennessee. I just think this shade of yellow in the background is kind of ugly, and since it takes up the entire seal, I don't like it. 35 is South Carolina. I like that it has some tributes that have meaning to the state, but I don't like the two separate seals inside of the one main seal. It looks a little bit tacky. 34, New Mexico. Just not enough color in this one. All the white space makes it look pretty boring. 33, Montana. Definitely bright and eye-popping, but I think all the random lines throughout just make it look pretty messy. 32 is Minnesota. I would like this one, except for the horse looks like it's running from out of the water. I mean, just look at this guy. He looks very alarmed. Is it running from someone? Did it just take a bath? Why did it just jump out of the water? 31, Arkansas. A lot of white space and just looks a little messy. 30, Pennsylvania. Again, all the white just looks boring. 29, Delaware. Same thing, but I like the tributes. 28 is Indiana. Not too bad. I'm just confused as to what's going on right here. Like, is he jumping over a ledge, jumping into some bushes? What is going on? 27, New Hampshire. Again, it's a nice looking one, but again, I just don't understand what's going on. Why is this boat stuck on the land instead of being in the water? 26, Wyoming. There's nothing wrong with this one. It's just kind of boring. 25, North Dakota. I like all the color to this one, but the details in each of the items just look a little bit sloppy. 24 is Idaho. I love how bright and colorful and eye-popping it is. That's why it made it this far, but there's just too much going on. It makes it seem messy. 23, North Carolina. I just don't understand what this scene is supposed to be. We've got a woman sitting on a cornucopia and a woman holding a hat on a stick. 22, Ohio. I like all the color, but it's just kind of plain with some arrows and some wheat. 21, Maryland. I like the design, especially the state flag in the center, but I don't like how the word Maryland is nowhere to be found. 20 is Maine. A very nice design that represents their state well. I just wish there weren't so much white space around the edges. 19 is Michigan. I like all the color to this one. Just a little bit weird to me to have the deer mounting up on their back legs and then the Sasquatch in the middle of the seal. 18, Nebraska. Nothing really bad about this one, but nothing really special about it either. 17, Louisiana. I like this one just because I think it's funny to have the bird be a centerpiece of your state seal, but it is perfect because it represents their state as the state bird. 16, Illinois. This has a very patriotic feel to it, so I like that. The only issue I have is there's nothing super unique to their state besides the date, so that's why it wasn't any higher. 15, Mississippi, same thing, a very patriotic feel, but nothing unique to that state, but I think this one looks a little bit better than the last one, so that's why it was a spot higher. 14, Vermont, a lot of different elements to represent their state, and I think it's got a pretty unique design. 13 is Hawaii, a lot of great tributes to the heritage of their state, and I like the uniqueness of the outer ring. 12 is Washington. I just think this one is perfect because it's obvious what state it represents with George Washington as the centerpiece. 11, Missouri, another one with various elements that perfectly represent their state, and I think it's just a nice overall design. 10, Nevada, got some scenery from their state as the centerpiece, and then the outer ring is also unique, kind of got like a sunshine feel to it. 9, South Dakota. Again, another one that represents the state well by having some scenery from that state. 8, California. The same thing here with the scenery. You see all the various different landscapes that the state has to offer. 7, Wisconsin. I like that it's bright and colorful, and then there's so many different elements of their state, so it represents them perfectly. Number 6 is Colorado. I like how the centerpiece of the seal is tributes to their state with the mountains and the axe, and then I also like the uniqueness of the red outer shell when most seals are blue or white. Number 5, Arizona, same thing, unique colors around the outside of the seal with the centerpiece being some landscape of the state to represent them. Number 4, Oklahoma, just a lot of really unique elements with this one with all the stars and then the big star in the center, various different scenes from their state throughout the star. I really like this one. Number 3, Alaska. This one just speaks for itself because it's got the gorgeous scenery that you would see throughout their state. Number 2, Kansas. I love this one, just super bright and colorful. The sunset in the background, the worker in the front, and the farm scene. This one is excellent. And number 1, the best state seal, Utah. I like this one because it has both elements that are unique to their state, as well as elements of patriotism to represent their country.